Hey guys, welcome to my tips and tricks video. Today I will help you go over things you need to know before you get a PC. I'll be helping any beginners trying to switch from console to PC or just trying to get a PC in general and you don't really know what you're doing or what you should look for. And my goal today is, after you finish watching this video, that you will know what you need to do in order to get your PC and switch over to the better side. So I've been on PC for a couple of months, so I know a couple things that people should look for and how they should go about buying a PC or building one. And I'll try to make it quick and understandable, unlike some other videos that will try to explain like Pythagorean theorem as to why you should get a piece or something. I'm just going to be quick, concise on what you should look for and point you in the right direction. So now let's get started on the websites you should use. So if you're looking to buy a PC, I highly recommend to either go for an iBuyPower PC or a CyberPower PC. So now you can go to a different website like Walmart or Amazon or something, but for the most part, they're going to have these specific types of PCs, which is either an iBuyPower brand or a CyberPower brand. There are other brands like Light Technology or like Skytech, but I highly recommend you go for these PCs because you can really find a good budget for them, unlike other websites. And now if you're looking to build a PC, I highly recommend you use PC Part Picker, which will go through every individual piece for your PC and will make sure that they're compatible with each other, so you don't end up getting two pieces that will not go together and you end up messing up your whole build and wasting your money. So now, getting started with your CPU, GPU, and motherboard. These are the main pieces to your PC and will dictate how your PC will run your games. These are the main three pieces. So now, if you're buying a PC, you don't have to so far as worry about the motherboard, because for the most part it'll be a compatible motherboard that will help run your CPU and GPU, and you'll be fine. If you're buying a PC, you don't have to worry about the motherboard as much and you can just look towards other pieces. Now if you're building a PC, it is good to look into the motherboard and all the different motherboards, search up what they do, which ones are better, and see which one you could get for a budget. And PC Part Picker will help you do that because it will make sure that your motherboard is compatible with whatever other pieces you're adding to your PC. Now getting into the CPU, there are two main paths you could go about when you're buying your PC and what you want. So now you can either go for a Intel build or you can go for a Ryzen build. Now, what are the difference between these two and which one should I go for based off of what I want? Let's see. So Intel is more for streaming, not so budget, because Intel is more expensive than Ryzen, and you should only go for this if you're gonna buy one of the newer ones, like really new ones, because those ones will really help you stream and such. So if you're looking to spend a lot of money and have a tank PC that can stream, game, all of that, you should go for an Intel build. Now if you're looking for a budget build that can also stream, don't get me wrong, with a Ryzen you can stream is good, because I've streamed before. So if you're looking for a budget, I'd go for a Ryzen build, and like the not so newer ones are really good in my opinion, because I have a Ryzen 3600, which you don't understand what that is, but like right now there's like 3900Xs and such, and right now I only have a 3600 and it's running completely fine. So if you're gonna go for a budget build, then these are for mostly the people looking to build a PC. That's what I'd go about. If you're looking to stream, Intel. If you're looking for budget, Ryzen. So, and I'll get into recommendations later on in the video for what PCs you should get based off of your price ranges and what pieces also. So now for your GPU, there are also two main paths you could go about, which are either a Radeon, I think I'm pronouncing Radeon build. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I butcher it. Or you could go for a GeForce build. So now, what are the two main differences between these ones? So now, if you're looking for more of a gaming build, you just want to game, you know, laid back, and you want budget gaming, I'd go for a Radeon build. I'd go for Ryzen Radeon build. If you want to just go really budget and just game, I'd go for just a Radeon build with a Ryzen or something, some low Ryzen. But if you're looking to budget and stream, like for example, if you're trying to budget your CPU with a Ryzen, I'd recommend you'd also get an NVIDIA with it if you also want to game but stream from time to time. So yeah, so if you're going for strictly gaming, go for a Radeon build for the budget, and if you're looking to stream and have budget, I'd go for an NVIDIA. And if you're looking to just tank it out, get a really tank PC or something, get one of the newer NVIDIA graphics cards, because they are amazing. They have RTX ray tracing and all that stuff. So if you're looking to just tank it out, get an RTX NVIDIA graphics card and get some high Intel CPU that will be able to stream, game, all that tank. So now let's get into the RAM. So now, if you're looking to just budget, game, and chill, you should go for an 8 gigabytes of RAM, because they're budget. You're gonna get the job done. They're gonna play games, most games, and you'll be fine. But if you're looking to stream, I'd go for a 16 gigabytes of RAM, because I'm gonna give you an example. My PC has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it will sometimes stagger the frames, and the frames won't come out that well in the stream, and the streams ends up being really bad. So if I had 16 gigabytes of RAM, this would be a whole different scenario, and I'd be able to stream. But for now, I can't really stream that well, but it can still render videos and play video games completely fine. So yeah. And then if you're looking to absolutely tank your PC while you're building it, or you're just looking for the highest priced PC with the best specs, I'd recommend going for a PC that has 32 gigs of RAM, because then you don't have a worry in the world, my friend. You don't have to worry about anything running slow. So now let's get into your storage. So for your storage, you can either have an SSD or you can have a hard drive of some sort. So now the difference between the two is that an SSD goes inside of your PC, and it's sort of like an internal drive that is faster than a hard drive, but there's other factors to your PC loading games quicker. And I'll get more into how you should organize your games if you have an SSD and a hard drive, if you have two different storage types. I'll get into that in another video on things I wish I knew when I was starting PC. It'll upload after this one. If you're buying a PC, you shouldn't have to worry about that, because it'll tell you most PCs just come with a SSD and a hard drive. They usually have those two combos. And sometimes you can look for a PC. Usually the higher priced PCs just have a really big SSD, which is really good, and the lower priced PCs just have a SSD and a hard drive combo. For example, mine came with a 240 gigabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive. And mind you, my PC was $869. It wasn't that expensive. It was more of on the budget side. And lower price PCs, like $600 range, would just come with an SSD of some sort that has like 500 gigabytes and wouldn't come with like a terabyte combo or something. So yeah. Now, if you're looking to build a PC, I would just recommend getting something like the Barracuda, because they're really good and they have the budget. Because most of the time, if you're building a PC, you're most likely just looking for a good budget price, and you don't want to pay the extra money of somebody building it for you. And yeah, I just recommend get a Barracuda of some sort, or you could get an M.2 SSD. But yeah, it's just completely up to you. You can look into that. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I'd recommend getting like a 2 terabyte Barracuda if you're just looking for a budget build. And yeah, so now for your power supply and CPU cooler, you don't have to so much worry about that when you're buying a PC, because it'll already come in contact, unless you want like a cool CPU cooler that like rainbow or like has some sort of animation going on. But for the most part, all these PCs look pretty tanked out and have pretty cool CPU coolers and fans and all that, because of the case. But if you're looking for a, if you're building a PC, you don't need so much to get a CPU cooler, because most CPUs come with a cooler already, so you won't really have to worry about that. But if you just want the extra cooling, I guess you could get a CPU cooler that just lights up or something. It's completely up to you, but you don't need it. You don't need it at all. So now, for your software like Windows and stuff, if you're buying a PC, most of the time it's already coming with Windows. All of them come with Windows. There's no way they're not. And most of the time when you first get your PC, you're gonna have a watermark at like the bottom right of your screen or bottom left of your screen, and all you need to do is just go to your settings and go to Windows and stuff and just activate it. But if you're building a PC, sometimes you might forget to get a Windows or something, and like you're just stuck with the watermark. If you don't get Windows, it's not as much of a problem. You're just stuck with a watermark, a permanent watermark. Like, it's everywhere on your screen. You'll always see it, and it's not that big of a problem. It's not that big, and it's pretty transparent. It's not like solid or anything. It's just annoying to have there. So you could just end up buying the Windows with your PC if you're building one. But if you're buying one, it already comes with it. You won't have to worry about it. All these have Windows 10, so you won't have to worry about that. Now for your monitor. Now, some of you guys might know this already, but there's different hertz monitors which dictate how smooth everything is on your screen. So for example, right now, I have a 60 hertz monitor, which is the lowest that you can get, and I am at a disadvantage, sort of. It's a slight disadvantage compared to people that have 144 hertz monitors and 240 hertz monitors. Like, the difference between how smooth everything is on your screen is really big, because for example, a 60 hertz monitor, it only sees around 60 frames, and like, even though you are getting higher frames, it does make a difference to have higher frames. Like, your game will look better, but your monitor will really be able to see all those frames if it was a higher hertz, like a 144 hertz for example. And the jump between a 60 hertz monitor and a 144 hertz monitor it's a big difference. Your world will change. But something from a 144 hertz monitor to a 240 hertz monitor, it's not that big of a difference. So if you're looking to get a monitor that is good, you know, that will game, that won't bring you any sort of disadvantage in any way, you should get a 144 hertz monitor. But if you're just looking for a budget, get a 60 hertz monitor, because they're not that expensive. You can even get a 75, they're around the same price. But if you're looking for, you know, that mid-range, just get a 144 hertz monitor. So I recommend to get a monitor that's around $200, or you could get this monitor, for example, that's $170. And one big thing you should look at, other than the 144 hertz refresh rate, you should be looking at the response time. So this is where people tend to mess up a bit, because when you're looking at the response times, there's 1 millisecond, 3 milliseconds, 1 millisecond, 0.5 milliseconds, which is pretty unnecessary. You could get that, but you should be looking for 1 millisecond or less. If it has 5 milliseconds, don't even look at that. Don't even get that. Don't just walk away. You have to look for something with 1 millisecond or lower, like a 0.5 milliseconds. Like, this is overkill. You could get this. You're gonna be cracked. But look for 144 hertz and 1 millisecond. Do not get anything higher than that. Something like 5 milliseconds will just, it's basically, there's no point in getting it. You just basically wasted your money. If you get like a 60 hertz 4 milliseconds, like, no, just don't. Trust me. It'll make a world of a difference. It's just, you'll see colors change way quicker on your screen. Even though milliseconds are pretty small, it'll just let you see colors change earlier, which means you can see an enemy move on the screen or something quicker. So I recommend getting a 144 hertz monitor. If you're looking for budget, get a 60 hertz. If you're looking to ball out, get a 240, bro. Just get a 240. If you got that money, just do that. So now for your keyboard. Now there's different types of keyboards you can get. You could get a full-size keyboard with the numbers, which I highly recommend you don't get, because those just take up unnecessary space. But if you really like the numbers on the side, bro, do you, man. And if you're looking for a budget full-size keyboard, I'd recommend go for a Red Dragon full-sized, because it's 50 bucks and it'll get the job done. And you can also look for a PicTech full size, because those are also low prices. You could get something like this one that's $35 full size. I promise you, will get the job done. I know it's a low price, you know, people will look bad at it, but I'll show you what I'll show you in a bit what keyboard I have, and it works completely fine. I love it. I'm in love with this thing. It was low price, sounds amazing. Like let me see if you guys can hear this. Oh, that's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. And it has pretty cool RGB. It could do a lot of different things. So, and for like 30 bucks, it was a bang for the buck. You feel me? Like, shoot. But yeah, you could get a full-size keyboard. Highly don't recommend you don't. I highly recommend you don't get it, because it's just unnecessary space. Unnecessary space. So now, next up on the board, a TKL. A TKL is what I have, because I like the arrows on the side, and it has the F keys at the top, which can help you with shortcuts. So I highly recommend you get a TKL over a full-sized, or what we're about to go over next, a 60%. I highly recommend you get a TKL, because it's just a medium between the two, and you get your top buttons with the FN keys, and you can do shortcuts easier and everything. Like, mind you, if you have a 60%, you can do shortcuts. You just have to set up like control plus something, or I don't know, it's just a bunch of different stuff. So I recommend that you get a TKL because of the F keys at the top. So now if you're looking for budget TKL, I recommend you get a Red Dragon, right? 35 bucks, 50 bucks, or you could get a PicTech, which I have, 30 bucks. Amazing, love it, highly recommend you get it. Ordered it from Amazon, came in, fell in love. So now the third type of keyboard you can get is the 60%. These ones are just really small, don't have F keys. You just have to program them better and stuff. There's some, you can find lower priced 60%, but if you're looking to ball out, you get a 60% and Pro or Ducky. These are like for the big ballers if you want them. But me personally, I recommend you get a TKL, low budget, or you could get some high price TKL, because there's some out there. But yeah, those are keyboards. So now for your mouse, you're gonna end up spending somewhere around 60 bucks, 50 bucks for this thing, because the mouse is really vital. So now the first mouse that came, mind you, if you're buying a PC, it comes with a keyboard and mouse. So they're not that great. If you're buying a PC and you're looking for budget and stuff, the keyboard and mouse will get the job done, but not so much as the mouse. But the keyboard I promise you will be good. But the mouse, my first mouse that came with iBuyPower, it was pretty bad. Sometimes it wouldn't pick up like where my mouse was moving and stuff, and it was really bad. So I highly recommend that if you're gonna, and it had no program too. The mouse had no program. So I'd recommend that if you're gonna buy a PC low budget, you can keep the keyboard, but make sure you buy a mouse, and you're gonna end up spending somewhere around $40, $70, $60 around for this mouse. And trust me, it's gonna make a world of a difference. And yeah, you should buy a mouse. So now there's different types of mouses, heavy mouses and stuff and all that, but I highly recommend you get some sort of lightweight mouse, because you don't want the strain of picking up some heavy mouse for no reason. So first recommendation, you get a SteelSeries. You could get the Sensei 10. It was one of the highest ranked mouses like in 2019 or something, I don't know. But yeah, SteelSeries is really good with their mouses. You can get a Haiti mouse. I don't know how you pronounce that. These are also really good. 70 bucks will get the job done. High ratings. Glorious Model O, one of the smallest mouses, most lightweight mouses, not smallest. It's also small, but yeah, you could get that. If you're gonna go for something on the bigger side, go for something like this. It's high rating, high performance, and all that. And if you're looking to straight off ball out with a wireless mouse, get yourself a G Pro wireless, bro. These are for the people that trying to spend their money, game, stream, all that. You got that money? Get yourself a G Pro wireless, bro. Shoot, $130, not for me, but you can get it if you got that money. Now, when you're looking for a mouse pad, I highly recommend you get an extended mouse pad. These are around 15 bucks, 30 bucks if you're looking for something with RGB on it. I highly recommend you get some sort. Ooh, this one looks really nice. You should go for something like an extended mouse pad, because I myself have an extended mouse pad. It just gives you more mouse space. You can keep your keyboard on it if you're not even going to use that much. Like I have my monitor, my keyboard all on this, and I still have a bunch of mouse space. And especially for gamers, like an extended mouse pad will be really useful. These are around 15 bucks, and yeah, extended mouse pads are elite, my friend, elite. So now, final thing on the list with my recommendations. You, for the most part, just go on iBuyPower, CyberPower. If you're looking to ball out, just look for a high-priced PC that has something like a 3080, 2080, depending if you're going for like $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. You could go for something like a 3090 or 3080 with 32 gigs, and something like a 3900X, or yeah. If you're looking for something budget, you could get something like one of these $600 PCs. Like they're already sold out because they're actually pretty good for their prices. You could get an $800 PC like I did, and mind you, you can also customize some of these to edit them the way that you want. You can edit different stuff it comes with. You can edit keyboards it comes with, mouses it comes with, edit the CPU coolers. You can even change some of the gigabytes of RAM. I'm telling you right now, you do not need 64 gigs. You do not need 64 gigs. Highest you should be getting is 32 gigs. You're gonna spend unnecessary money if you're getting 64 gigs. I mean, if you want to ball out, bro, get 64 gigs, but it's really unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. But yeah, pretty much those are my recommendations. I don't really have that big recommendations. If you're looking to build something, this is my like 1K build. It just has these pieces. It comes with a 144 Hz monitor. I just didn't add the keyboard and mouse, but it has this power supply, case, a graphics card. And mind you, if you're looking for a power supply and you're building one, make sure you get something that's bronze certified, at least 80 plus. And then based off of the watt, you should get something something bronze, 80 plus bronze or something. As for the watts, it's just based off of what pieces you're getting or something and stuff. For example, with all these pieces, a 600 watt power supply is more than enough. So look around, shop around these sites, see which ones you want, or look around for different PC parts, see the prices. And if you're looking to study more of these, search up videos on graphics cards and CPUs and see which ones you want, see benchmarks and stuff. If you're looking to learn more about PC parts and such, I highly recommend you go to Scattervolt. He'll teach you a lot. He taught me a lot, and I was able to really understand all the different PC parts and how they came into work with each other and what I needed to look for. For the most part, this was like, I tried to go as fast as possible to make you understand just like an overview of what the PC parts do, what you need, what you should look for, and all that, because I wish I knew some of this stuff and it was clear for me when I was first getting a PC. So hopefully it'll help somebody out there just know what they want with their PC and understand the PC parts just a little bit better, at least. That was my goal for the end of this video. So hopefully I helped you in some way. If I did, leave a like, maybe even subscribe, comment in the comment section if I missed anything, things you want me to clarify, or recommendation for a next video. And mind you, my next video is going to be things I wish I knew about my PC before I started it, so I'll help you with like different programs that you should know about, different shortcuts, and all that stuff. And yeah, tune in for the next video if you're interested, and see you in another video maybe. Thank you. Leave a like and subscribe if you liked it. Yeah.